right, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna do things a little bit differently tonight. The Flagon Slayers are playing Call of Cthulhu.
Let's go.
So there's only a few of us, so we'll have them kind of do a quick introduction of their characters, so we know what's going on here.
Michael,
Jacob.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is Call of Cthulhu?
What is it?
Well, I was gonna have you introduce your characters, and then we talk about it. So.
Jacob.
For reference, there's different versions of the game that can be played, but I like playing in the 1920s era of the game. It just seems more interesting because it's not just hop in a new car that everybody's got and then go travel across the country. It becomes a little bit more difficult to do even somewhat simple tasks, so you have to use your brain more. But so Call of Cthulhu is more of a it's a role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons, but it revolves more around, I guess, more using your surroundings and role-playing more so than just an obstacle is in front of you. Do you want to beat it down or find a way around it? In Call of Cthulhu, your option is to run away or die, basically. It's like the Dark Souls of role-playing games. So, we're in the 1920s here, and we're going to go on from there. Let's see who survives. Also, we're playing an introduction module for the game called Paper Chase. All right, Jacob, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you are.
Okay, so I am playing Justine Hughes. She is a jazz singer from New Orleans, Louisiana, and she's 25.
Okay. Abby, go ahead.
Okay. Character Randy.
Oh.
Playing Ivy Crabtree, 26-year-old state New York.
Ouch.
Why is your audio just now starting to go out again? I'm playing Thomas Shortbottom. He's a student. He's 11 years old. He's currently in boarding school.
Ooh, like a nerd.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's also kind of a child prodigy when it comes to grades and smarts and stuff, so.
Yeah. So in most other role-playing games, at least, the fantasy ones, there's a class system in place where you want to be a fighter or a rogue, that sort of thing. In Call of Cthulhu, it's based on, or at least grounded in, reality. Alright, so here's your introduction. You have been contacted by Thomas Kimball of Michigan. It seems his house has been burglarized and some of his uncle's favorite books have been stolen. The mystery is a little unusual, as the uncle inexplicably disappeared without trace a year ago. Mr. Kimball would like you to find out who stole the books, return them if possible, and discover the whereabouts of his uncle and whether he is still alive. So the nephew of the man who disappeared has basically hired you all to help find his uncle. More specifically, the house that his uncle lived in has been burglarized recently.
Rip.
And so that's what has caused him to hire you guys. He's still wanting to find his uncle, but I think more specifically the burglary has gotten his attention. And you guys can take it from there.
Start at his place.
Yeah. So you guys are have just gotten there, and he has just explained the situation to you guys, that it's been broken into. The house is still kind of disheveled because it just happened pretty recently and was just kept there. Believe the nephew has been staying there since his uncle has been gone. It is his uncle's home that you guys are now in.
But his uncle was gone like a year ago.
Yes, his uncle has been gone a year, and someone just recently broke in, and the bookshelves and stuff have been basically cluttered and knocked around.
Interesting.
Okay.
But are we looking around then? Or are you just like in a room?
Yeah, you guys are free to look around. So you've got Thomas there with you.
Oh, cool.
For Caleb, you're 11.
This is
Hey guys.
Thomas.
Excuse me. What are you looking for again?
Please don't. It sounds like a drunk girl.
What is your character's name, Caleb?
It's Thomas.
Tom. Oh. Okay. That's funny. I have the same name, Thomas. I'm Thomas Kimball.
Oh, you can just call me Tommy.
Okay, Tommy, we'll go with that. I need you guys. My uncle has been missing for a little bit, which is one thing in itself, but it's also curious that all of a sudden his house is broken into and only the bookshelf over here has been disturbed. And so I'm hoping that you guys, as investigators or people that would be interested in helping that aren't the police, can help me out here.
Well, who was your uncle? What did he do?
My uncle has just been retired. He hasn't been doing anything. He just likes to spend his times just reading. Basically, he's an elderly man, and that's all he does these days is just take walks and reads lots of books. It's his most important possession are his books.
I also like to read books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the library every so often.
My teachers tell me that I'm reading too many books, but they're just so interesting,
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Well, what
So
kind of books did he have?
Well, that's up for you to go and look if you'd like.
Okay, can I go look?
Yeah. So the bookshelf again is kind of it's not like knocked over and the books are all over the place. It's just the point Thomas is trying to drive home is that this was his uncle's world, basically, were these books. They're categorized, they're nice and neat, and yet now some of them have fallen over, like books have been pulled out, and the other books fell away, like either they were in a hurry or obviously just didn't care. They were there to get something in particular.
I don't know if I have any stats that help this.
Yeah, but the books themselves a lot of them are types of adventure books. It's not all just like generally you think of someone that owns a lot of books as having a lot of medical books and things like that. These are more adventure type novels.
That's not quite the things I'm into, but I'll go search around anyway to try to help you out.
So it's stories of pirates and swashbucklers and...
Yes.
Can I see if anything else was stolen?
Yeah, let me bring up.
Like around the house?
Mm-hmm. So, Thomas, that invited you over here to help him, has basically set aside the, like a spare bedroom for you all to use because this is kind of, the 1920s, this isn't one of the popular, like it's not a big bustling town. So to make it more appealing for you to also help him out, he's letting you stay there for free and also paying you guys a little bit of money to do this. Yeah,
I'm also going to see if I can find any, like, oh wait, when was Prohibition? This question?
It's going on.
Dang!
The 20s.
Haha.
Whatever,
Doesn't
you're
mean-
little anyway.
Excuse me, Mr. Thomas, what did your
Yes, Tommy?
did your uncle arrange these books in any sort of way? Is it alphabetical or by category or and also
The decimal system.
yeah? Do you know what books they got taken?
I don't know if he had categorized them in his own way. He knew where all the books were because that's all he did was read all day, every day. So there's, I mean, and he kind of looked or waves his hand over there, and there's even some that couldn't fit on the shelves, and there's like a stack of books even next to it. So it's kind of maybe kind of a categorized mess where he knows where it's at, but it's not like alphabetized.
So, does it look like the house is broken into? Like, is there shattered glass or anything like that?
Like, how does he know that there's books missing?
Because he had been staying here while his uncle was gone. He's been keeping care of the place basically while he was gone, and noticed that there were spots where books should have been in the bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, there were 6 books missing from the shelves. But he's not sure what titles specifically were taken, because like he said, he's not sure how they were categorized or anything like that, just that they're there. And
Does your uncle have any friends?
no, he kept to himself. Again, he just reads. That's all he does.
That's all he does. Can I look at the bookshelf and like see if it's categorized in any way?
Sure. Yeah.
Would that be a library use check?
No, library use is more specifically looking for a certain book or things within a book, like within a library. This is somebody else's
Private collection.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it would make sense still to have like some common knowledge of weird ways that people could categorize them. Maybe not by
perhaps by spine color.
Well, I mean, that could be something. Instead of being the title of the book or the author, it could be the genre, which wouldn't be evident on the book itself.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a library use roll.
Library use roll.
Yeah.
All
First
right.
roll of the game.
25, and my library use is a 68. So
Okay, so that's a succeed.
is that a
And
That's a super, right?
well, it's a hard success.
hard
is what they
success?
call the half. Yeah. There's a success or fail, and then there's a hard success or fail, and then there's a third one that is a 1/5 value. In Call of Cthulhu, your stats are generally they're in sets of 10s up to basically 99. I don't think stats can go up above that, but when something is more difficult to use, it because of the way that the stats are distributed, instead of just tacking on like a +5 for, like, for instance in D&D, if you've got a door, it's pretty easy to kick in, but if it's reinforced, then maybe you have to add an extra 5 to the roll to be able to take that door down. And in Call of Cthulhu, they have hard successes, which are half the value of your stat that you have to beat. So they go in sets of 10, and you want to roll below that. So like he just mentioned, his library use was a 68, so he had to roll below that to succeed in a library use roll.
Yay! I did it.
Yeah. So then you can check that box because you succeeded.
Oh, I
that.
can. Yes, let's go. Checking.
You know how to look at books.
Jacob, you mentioned that you wanted to look at the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no. You guys are taking time looking around this place because it's confusing in the first place to why somebody would just come in and take books. So it seems like they're
only 6.
right. So you notice over by the window, they're not, well, there is a window there. It hasn't been broken, but it's kind of loose because it's old. So it's not seated properly there. And it just seems like that it could be opened even from the outside if you worked hard enough for it.
Looks like you need to do some upgrades on the house.
And then, yes, it's not my house, so I'm still finding these things that need to be taken care of. Caleb, I need you to also make a spot hidden roll.
Haha. Good thing I upgraded my spot hidden. 7.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that's a big success.
It is a 1/5 success.
Yeah.
Woo! Man, this kid's smart.
I made a smart kid. Other outside, you guys are looking at everything I'm able to do right now. Everything else can't do it. I can't swim.
He's peeking.
I can't swim. I can't throw anything. I can play a violin for you. That's about it.
Yeah, that seems about right.
There's a journal entry here I was just glancing over. I want to see how easy this would be for you guys to read, because it's kind of hard to read here. Caleb, how easily can you read that?
Where's it at?
I posted
Oh, I
it in
can
our
read it.
chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you find
boy.
a journal. You find a journal, and this is the last entry. The last entry is dated the day before Kimball vanished. So you guys are here in, I think it says specifically, this is 1922. So the entry is dated from 1921.
Hoover is president, I think.
No, I think it's Calvin Coolidge.
Is it
So
Hoover?
the entry cryptically mentions, quote unquote, reaching a decision and joining with my friends below. And then it says, other earlier journal entries seem to hint at a network of tunnels beneath the cemetery inhabited by mysterious creatures that Douglas saw moving about the cemetery at night. Douglas, again, is the man that went missing.
Mhm.
Huh.
So that's what you found, like a hidden diary mixed in all of those books there.
So what are the important parts there?
Reaching a decision and joining with my friends below. And he saw that there was hints for a network of tunnels beneath the cemetery that had like these mysterious creatures that dwelled inside.
So for future reference, Harding was president for 1 year. This is the 1 year Warren G. Harding was president.
I was so close.
But
And
Coolidge
he let Douglas Kimball go missing.
Yeah.
Friends below, huh?
What are friends below? What is it?
I don't know. What do you have
You're
there,
too young.
Tommy?
Oh, have I not showed anyone yet?
Well, he doesn't know about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you showed it to them, if that's what you want to do.
No, I'm showing it to them. I walk it over.
What have you got there, Tommy?
I found this piece of paper, guys, and I just don't know what it's talking about. Or I found a diary, right? Or is
Yeah.
it like a multiple? Okay.
It's a diary. It's like Dear Diary at the top.
I found a diary, and it's there's some information in here about like some joining stuff and some people below, and I'm not really sure what that is. So I'm gonna give it to you guys. Maybe you might know what it is. But I mean, I've put in a lot of work here. I found the book in the first place, so
Do you want a pat on the head or a cookie?
I would enjoy a biscuit. Yes.
Hey. I'm assuming by friends below, I mean like dead people, like his dead friends. Is that what he's talking about?
I mean, are you asking that as Abby or asking Thomas as your character?
As Abby, I think.
Okay.
I zoned out just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hold on. Let me go
So-
talk to Thomas about this real quick. I'm gonna walk over to Thomas. Excuse
Okay.
me, Thomas.
Yeah, what can I help?
Mr. Thomas. You know, have you ever been part of a club or like a group of like just some fun people or something like that? Like I know I've been part of my band practice and the chemistry club and
Church is fun.
ch-
Church is good for everyone.
yeah, I mean, church is cool and stuff. Science is where it's at, but church is cool. But was your uncle part of any of those? Like,
My uncle,
Perhaps
not
a
that
book
I
club?
know of, that would involve getting away from his books.
I mean, it seemed, was he religious in any way? Maybe not quite church, but religious in any
No,
way.
he pretty actively disliked church, or maybe that's too strong of a word. He had an aversion to church. He's not big on it. He's no worship, like a Satan worshiper or anything like that. He's not evil by any means. He just really doesn't care.
So there's no groups he was part of, or like groups he wanted to be part of. Like, I don't know if there was a direction maybe that he would go to meet up with this group of some sort. Would it be like up or sideways or like down maybe? Below possibly.
You got me lost there, kid.
All right, I'm gonna go back and talk to these guys. Thanks, Thomas, Mr.
Is
Thomas.
there a cemetery nearby?
Yeah, so Jacob, when he went to check the window around the side, he could see through the window there while he was checking it. There's a walkway that actually goes out the back of this house that goes straight through to a cemetery out back. It's a decent distance. It's not like the backyard, but it's like I don't know, like a quarter mile away maybe.
Okay.
Thomas, is that the family plot out there?
No, that's the town graveyard.
Oh.
That's why not too many people live around here. They didn't want to be too close to the graveyard, but Uncle likes his privacy.
Can I do some kind of like occult check to maybe see if I like would know what kind of like beast or whatever that he saw? Is that a thing?
Well, there hasn't been description. It was just creatures down below. So, and more like so Cthulhu Mythos is another stat on there.
Yeah.
But nobody has any yet because as of right now, your characters don't know that it's a thing. Yeah, that you're just people living in 1920s America.
Yeah.
That's it. So you're hearing stuff about creatures, and it's a little bit alarming because there's no signs that this man is crazy. He likes to read, but there's no other obvious signs that there's anything wrong with this person. He's led a normal life. He had, a family, all that stuff, and now he just lives alone, and he just likes to read.
Sounds like a fuddy-duddy to me.
Fuddy-duddy.
Is fuddy-duddy a 20s slang word? I don't know. When does that use?
He's got Lexi.
I want to be accurate. I actually looked up slang. There's a bunch.
So there's a cemetery nearby.
Should we go look at the cemetery?
I don't know if I like cemeteries very much.
Oh, it's okay, Tommy. You'll have two lovely ladies with you.
I'll have two lovely ladies with me, you're right, but cemeteries are still scary. I mean, I know there's no such thing as ghosts or demons or...
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh, don't scare him.
Gonna have to learn sooner or later.
I understand that you can study that kind of stuff and, gain some stuff from it, but I prefer to stick to the facts of science.
Everything this kid says is nerd.
What are you trying to imply?
Nothing.
Okay.
We're all very intelligent people, some more intelligent than others, but we're going to continue on our way. Trying to be the cockiest 11-year-old I can possibly be right now.
What makes me mad is that your education points are literally like one above mine.
Actually,
It happens.
That makes it so much worse.
It's all I can do, though. It's all I can do is my education.
Yeah, if we do anything strength based, are we fucked on strength?
No, I think we should just run.
I think so. Yeah, I think you guys are pretty book smart, but then you don't have any much physical stuff.
We don't have
between
any
you.
muscle with us.
I guess we can go to the graveyard if you guys really think it's gonna help.
Do you need someone to hold your hand while we go?
Not yet. What time is it? What time is it?
We'll say because you guys were pretty successful with looking around the place. Only maybe half the day was burnt up. So you guys had come in the night before, got settled in, and then met up with Thomas the next morning.
Okay.
And then you guys looked around the place. Excuse me. So it's like it's like the sun's starting to dip, but it's like it's still pretty bright out.
Do you guys think we should keep this book, or like maybe give it back to Thomas, or like? Okay. Mr. Thomas, can I keep this book around? It might help us solve this. I can give it back to you afterwards. It's just like a personal diary, like nothing too important or anything.
Yeah, just please bring it back. I mean, if this ends up being as bad as what we think it is, we would like to have something that important to him to keep it within the family.
Completely understand.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the other books, but I mean, it's fine. We can bring this one back. It's cool.
It's a diary.
Tommy, what are you going to do with a diary?
I'm just making sure that if we need to, like, maybe read it again and see if there was any more information that we missed, that we can read it. Duh. If the information's in the book and that's what's leading us to the next place, we should probably keep the information that we have in this book with us, right?
100% correct.
All right, well, let's go to the graveyard.
Before you all go, if this somehow does lead you to my uncle, I just wanted to give you a quick description of him because there's no telling. But he's a balding, average height man who's balding, white hair, and he's got these round spectacles. Okay, so you're heading to the graveyard.
What was his uncle's name again?
Douglas Kimball.
Douglas. Okay.
What was everyone's names again? What are you guys' names again?
Yeah.
My name's Ivy Crabtree. What a stupid name.
Justine Hughes.
Justine and Abby?
Ivy.
Ivy. I thought you said
Ivy.
Abby. Okay, so it's Ivy and Justine.
I'm not changing my name.
Are either of you guys married? So I don't call you Mrs.
No.
Okay.
I choked on my...
Off to the graveyard!
So you guys start your stroll towards the graveyard. It's not too far away, but as you're approaching it, there's plenty of vegetation around, trees, bushes, the usual. But as you get closer to the fence line, or I guess it's more of a wall to the graveyard. There's lots of the trees are taller. They're visibly older, and there's the wall itself. There was like a stone wall, kind of around the graveyard to separate it from keep critters out, that sort of thing. And it's kind of fallen into disrepair a little bit. It's not like a super stereotypical creepy graveyard. It's just an old graveyard basically. And then as you approach, you notice a gardener, you would assume, digging out weeds next to one of the graves on the other side of the cemetery. And as you guys walk in, he notices you from a distance and kind of just stands up and gives you a friendly little hello and gets back to what he's doing. So you guys want to just look around, approach him?
I want to talk to him.
You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
No,
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Oh, you just gonna go? Okay.
Right up.
Yeah,
Everybody
so-
else. I wanted to see what everybody else is gonna do here too.
Oh, I
You
thought
all going
everybody was
there?
going with me. Sorry.
Yeah, but also
Rewind.
can I look around and see if any of the graves look like unusual, if they have any like unusual markings or any,
Do you want to do that while they're going to talk to him, or is that just after the conversation?
I don't know. I want to go talk to him, so I guess after.
Okay. And Caleb, you're following along as well?
Yeah.
What's
So,
this guy look like?
He's a very blue collar type of dude. He's just a gardener, so he's got the typical, overalls and
Gardener.
shirt underneath, some gloves on to deal with the gardening. It's just, he's got a wheelbarrow next to him, and he's just digging up weeds, trying to keep the place tended. But he's just a average height dude, pretty plain looking.
Okay, while we're walking over there before we get within like ear range of him, I always admire how the work that these guys do. My father, he employs many gardeners around our mansion back in New York, and also our second house down in Virginia. So I love the work they do. Just not as important as us, I guess, right?
I'm gonna smack him in the back of the head.
Ow!
I'm not-
I only have 11 HP. Don't you dare smack me.
Good. Listen here, kid.
It's more of a jar than actual brain damage.
Just because someone doesn't have money doesn't mean you can treat them like they're dirt.
When did I treat him like he was dirt? I was just simply speculating.
Justine, make a charm or a persuade roll.
Heck yeah. What if she just was a valley girl? 1920s valley girl.
Let's be a flapper.
Charmin. Are you serious? Come on. I rolled an 88 and my charm is a 75.
Rip.
Jeez. Well, maybe
Wow.
he's not much for the ladies. So
Thomas, I shoved Thomas.
Hi, mister.
okay, so Justine went to speak to him, and while
Hello.
speaking, he's still just working. And then as you start to talk, you haven't drawn much interest of him. So he just kind of looks up and says, good day. How are you? I got some work I gotta do here, so if you don't mind, pay your respects, but I've got stuff to do here.
Okay.
Well, we also have stuff to do here.
So do you want to try a persuade roll? Because Jacob tried charm. I'll let you push a persuade.
Can I not? Can I?
Because there's a couple of you there, and
persuade.
mention what it is that you want to say to him with your roll.
Do any of you guys have persuasion?
Not really.
No.
No, I don't. I've got a little bit of charm.
You're all good at finding books.
Does money work?
And then I just didn't.
Does money work in this?
Yes and no. But it's it's less bribery and more your appearance because you being wealthy, you're going to carry yourself differently and have nicer clothes on, which other people will notice and either be drawn to it or pushed away from it. So, what are your intentions?
Is that you asking or the?
I'm asking you as the keeper. What does your character want to do with the money?
No, I was wondering if bribing, if using money to get information from someone was a thing in this.
All this kid knows to do is flash his wealth and his smarts.
Is there anything else to do?
Again, I'll let you do that with the persuade roll as your push, because generally, when you're pushing a roll to try a different attempt, you're trying a different route to get this person's attention
I have to roll so
whatever.
low to get a freaking persuasion here. I just want to let you know that.
You never know.
All right.
So before you roll, what are you going to say and do?
Excuse me, sir. We just wanted just a couple minutes of your time just to talk about maybe people you've seen here, or just if you can remember anything, and just to make sure that we're not wasting your time or anything. I mean, I can always pay you to help us get some information, just to like as a just a little like thank you, or like hey fucking help. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that part.
All right. So go ahead and make your roll then.
Do I add anything to it? Rolled a 3.
Okay.
This kid is the
So-
luckiest kid.
The mention of the money and the
Ow.
overall description here doesn't seem too time consuming. So you've gotten his attention. So he looks up and says, "You got money, boy?
I mean,
What do you need?"
oh well, I'll allow these fine women next to me to explain it. Thank you. I'm gonna start pulling out some money and counting it. He's getting like 3
His
pennies.
eyes are kind of darting back and forth between the money and the ladies. Like he's waiting on the women to say something.
I'm gonna notice.
We were wondering if you've seen anyone in the graveyard.
I'm gonna notice that, and I'm gonna turn my back while I'm counting my money.
Okay. He's gonna. What did you say? If he's noticed anybody in the
Yeah,
cemetery,
anything out of the ordinary?
anything out of the ordinary, he says, "Give me just a couple of dollars. I'll give you your information. Just make it quick, please."
Oh, that's all he wanted. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, well, like $10 at this time is like $240 now. So a couple of bucks is still
lot.
decent. Yeah, that's a decent amount of money.
I'm
for a
gonna
gardener.
Yeah, a
hand.
candy bar with 5 cents.
Well, here's $1, and then I will give you more if the information we're looking for is helpful. That way we know that we're trading off helpful things on both sides.
Smart kid.
Seems fair.
My
Okay.
nanny always did tell me that we need to be fair in situations like this. My second nanny, she was a little bit stricter, but my third nanny said a similar thing, so that is how I
Give him the
live.
money, Thomas.
I've already given it to him. I'm just also
Oh my
explaining.
gosh.
And be quiet.
Okay, so he takes the dollar there, and then again, you said you're asking if there's been seen any weird things in the cemetery.
Anything out of the ordinary, yeah.
Anything out of the ordinary. Let's see here.
Or people doing things out of the ordinary is like some similar,
The
Yeah.
adults are talking, Thomas.
I'm sorry, I'll just keep counting this money.
You do that. Practice your numbers.
Haven't seen really anything out of the ordinary around here. It's a cemetery. I come, dig weeds, tend to everything. Just people come and go.
How long have you been working here?
I've been here for a few years now.
Did you know the man that lived over there?
Oh, Douglas? Yeah. He would come by and chit chat every so often.
When was the last time
Yeah.
you saw him?
Oh, I haven't seen him for I don't know how long now. At least he's now that I think about it, didn't he disappear a while back? Didn't he go missing?
That's exactly
That's what we're trying to figure
yeah.
out.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he used to come by and chit chat with me. Like I said, he would talk about all sorts of little things, but he always liked talking about these foreign lands from his books. He was all about the adventure and seemingly, just all these other places.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of points over like 20 feet away from where you guys are at, and he says, "Yeah, that was his favorite tombstone over there. I don't know why. I guess it just seated him properly over there. So he'd come over here and read over there in that there spot for hours, sometimes into the night."
Do you know anything about the network of tunnels below the cemetery?
What's that?
The network of tunnels below the cemetery?
I don't go digging that far down.
Well, I mean, someone who works here might also know about what's under it, you know?
Oh, this place has been here for forever. I don't know what's underneath it. I didn't dig it. People who dug it aren't even here.
Do you know someone who may know some information? Do you think there's a library nearby where we can get some information?
Oh, sure, there's a library in town.
I know there's a library in town. That's
Well,
why.
you asked me if there was a library.
No, I asked if there's a library with information.
I don't know if it's got information. Maybe. If they reported it to the police, there might be some information in there. For the library, the police station.
Well, I say we divide and conquer.
Okay.
How are we dividing here? Are you going into the
Well-
tunnels?
Smarty pants. I think you should go to the library. Seems like a good place you'd enjoy.
I mean, yeah, I've been there multiple times. I do enjoy it. I can go and check it out. Talk to do I know the librarian's name, or is there a specific name that I should call a librarian, or can I just say Martha or something?
Why'd you say that name?
You can just go to the library and
Martha.
talk to the attendant there.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll head over to the library. Oh, I'm gonna take out $2 more and then hand it to the dude.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. That was really helpful. If we need more help later, we'll be sure to come by, and maybe if you find out any other information that we possibly haven't been given at this moment, and you give us more of that information, we can pay you more in the future. Thank you. And I'm gonna walk off.
Okay.
Wait,
One of us should probably go with the kid too.
where are you guys going?
I love how you just walk off and then you realize.
Well, I walked like 5 feet, and then I turned around. I was like, wait, hold on.
Wait, I
So-
can't be left unattended.
Well, one of us needs to go to the police station, I guess.
Why don't I'll have all three of you do a psychology check.
Do that psychology check.
Oh gosh.
Don't be too disheartened if you fail at something. It could be good. I mean,
69.
Nice.
Haha.
Flagon Slayer's approved.
Nope, I failed. I got an 84.
Okay. And then I'd say Caleb, since you were the one talking to him, also make a spot hidden roll.
Excuse me, I was talking. We were all talking to him.
Yeah, but he had the most interaction with him.
Are we sure
Ooh.
about that? I feel like I did.
Yeah, I think it was definitely. I was just paying him. I did pass my
That's-
spot hidden check though.
Yeah, that's excuse me.
I can cut it out and let
Ivy,
Abby
go
roll
ahead
though.
and do it. Yeah.
No. I got 68.
No.
Ah, so close.
So close. This close.
So disappointing.
Okay. No big deal. You guys going on your way?
Yeah, I'll go to the police station.
How many places do we have to go? Oh,
So, I'll just go ahead and give you a quick rundown because this one is not quite as open-ended as if I had made it myself. Excuse me. So you've already checked the graveyard and obviously the house itself. With your general knowledge, you also know there's a library in town and a police station, and then specifically the local newspaper back issues. The newspaper is called the Arnoldsburg Advertiser because the town is Arnoldsburg, Michigan.
so are there 2 or 3 places we need to go to?
There's still technically the local newspaper back issues are going to be it's in the library, but there are, so you've got the library, the police station, and then the looking specifically for the newspaper back issues.
I can go to the police station.
I guess I can take Tommy to the library.
Yay! The library!
So, Justine's going to the police station. Tommy and
Yes,
Ivy
she is.
going to. Okay.
The library.
Did you say the library?
No, the library.
Li-
I know how to pronounce words.
I guess it didn't take too long to talk to the gardener there, but getting into town is going to take a little bit longer. Like since you're on foot, the walking to the garden.
Does Thomas
Or,
have a car that we could borrow?
Thomas May.
I would like to figure that out, please.
Okay, so you want to go back to
up to
the house. So Thomas, he actually has an old well, not. It's a car. I was gonna say old because of the time period, but he's got a car. Yes. Because when you had arrived there, it was already kind of late, and all the cars are black anyway. So if you guys want to just walk into town, it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's not like it's going to be an ordeal. It's not Lord of the Rings or something. It's just going to take like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes walking into town.
What time is it now?
It's still pretty much the same as when you guys went into the graveyard. Like, it was the very early beginnings of sunset. So if you guys don't spend all day at wherever you're going, or you can, just come
the
back
library's
at night.
probably closed. It's probably
This-
going to be
this
closed
is-
by the time we get there.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
No! Not the
guys-
library!
You guys can go back to the house and just call it an early night and just talk about the information you guys got and other things you can do.
Yeah. Was
There-
that spot hidden check to find the tunnels?
No.
Could I try to find the tunnels?
Oh, find tunnels.
Well, that would be, I mean, if you wanted to find tunnels, you would need a shovel, stuff to just dig up a graveyard.
Oh yeah,
And
because
you guys are
that's completely
already-
kosher.
Well, I was going to say, you guys are known out-of-towners that are here, and if stuff just starts happening, you're going to be looked at.
Nice.
There's holes all over the graveyard.
So that tombstone that the gardener pointed out, can I go look at it?
I would also like to do that.
Are we not going
Right.
into the library tonight?
Who's buried there?
No,
We're
Tommy.
not going to the library, Tommy.
That's annoying.
Well, it's
Well,
closed.
it's late.
I know, it's fine. Just wanted to read some books. Maybe figure this out a little
Well, there's
quicker.
plenty of books in the house that you could read.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure this out. I've got a violin recital in the 2 weeks, and I want to be back in New York by then.
It's not going to take us 2 weeks to figure this out, Tommy.
Okay.
That's what you're saying now.
Looking at the tombstone.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a stereotypical tombstone. Other than it's obviously been used. It's been worn smooth on the front just from constant use. You can assume by Douglas Kimball constantly being on it for years. But it's so worn through time, weather, all that sort of stuff, to even know who's buried there. And then go ahead and make a spot hidden or a track roll.
Oh. Okay, I'll do spot hidden.
Okay.
Nope, I rolled a 66.
Okay, it was spot hidden or track.
What is tracking? Like, isn't okay?
Could Abby do it too? Because she's looking at it too.
Aren't we all looking at it?
I didn't know where Tommy was. I didn't really care.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys just kind of left him while he was talking to himself about wanting to go to the library.
Yeah.
78, unfortunately. No,
Okay, so that's a fail. Okay.
I'm real bad at everything.
I mean, it happens. Sometimes you, like, Caleb rolled crazy good for that spot hidden roll earlier, like a 3%. It can happen.
Did you mark that too? You gotta mark it.
Oh yeah,
Library use and spot
I did.
hidden.
I did.
Yeah.
He's the
Okay.
only one that's gonna like gain anything out of this.
I know.
Not necessarily. I'm trying to include a little bit more stuff, so there is more opportunity there.
What are you guys looking for?
Hidden stuff.
Not wrong.
What kind of hidden stuff? Are we looking for the tunnel still?
I think that would take a little more work.
Yeah. Well, are we trying to figure out if there's even tunnels here, or do we know that for a fact already?
Well, he wrote about them.
He
like
wrote.
they were fact.
Yeah. He also said he was gonna go visit the people
Remember the
under.
book that you said we needed to hold on to because it had the information in it?
Yeah, and I told you the information, and I understand the information I gave you, but I'm just telling you, he also said he was going to go visit whatever the people below are, and that could be a real or a metaphorical thing, which the tunnels could also be metaphorical. We don't know that yet.
Go ahead and make a tracking or spot hidden roll, Tommy.
I have some real shit tracking. I failed
Okay.
on my spot head. I didn't do tracking.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
You gotta min max, man. You gotta roll the stats that you
Well,
haven't already
that's
checked.
yeah, that's the dilemma. Is if you succeeded in something, there is, I guess, encouragement to try and get better at those other stats.
Truth.
Because, like I said, there's a lot of things that you check that aren't necessarily going to make or break your investigations. You know, you might just find subtle little details that some people will figure out what's going on quicker, or you might just find something that will help you, or vice versa. It's not necessarily like it's pretty open-ended. I mean, there's lots of different ways to affect what's happening.
Well, I think our best option here is to just kind of wait it out and
Maybe visit the police station and the library
crack at it
tomorrow.
in the morning.
Yeah. Do you know what dinner?
What day of the week is it?
Just say it's a Monday.
Ooh boy!
Do you know what's for dinner?
Who are you asking?
I'm just walking back to that house. I'm not acknowledging. I'm just.
Oh man, Jacob, this is what happens when you create Oscar in our campaign. I give you Tommy.
Fair. Fair enough.
All right, so you guys are heading back to the house,
Mm-hmm.
crashing for the night.
Yes.
Do you think we should? Do you think that the thieves are going to come back, or do you think?
I mean, when did this happen again? Like, when did they break in?
Wasn't it yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
It wasn't the day before. I may have because it's going to take you guys time to get over there.
It's recent though. It's like within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Within a week.
Yeah. It was this week.
Okay.
We'll say it was within a few days.
What I'm curious about is why was there not the same amount of alarm went missing? Like it seems like he's freaking out about the books.
That's why I was questioning whether or not
See,
he
that's
really
why I
knew
think
anything.
the police might be able
So-
to shed some light.
Yeah.
Well, guess we can't find out about that till tomorrow. So let's go back, get some dinner, and get some sleep.
Isn't it past your bedtime anyway?
That's exactly why I want to get back, get some dinner, and go to sleep.
I'm wondering if one of us should stay up and like guard the books or something.
I mean, I do need to practice some violin before I go to bed. I can stay up for like maybe an hour or so. You're not gonna hear it. I can play softly. Jeez. I know you guys love my violin, but
Oh, that's how instruments.
What
work.
kind of violin do you
Well-
play?
Not hear it.
classical.
Jazz is where it's at.
I can play a little jazz, but it's classical's where it's at.
I have no opinion.
I could teach you a few things.
I'd be down. I guess we'll just kind of take some time. I'm gonna learn a little bit of jazz, just a little bit though.
Jazz violin. Heck yeah. I want want to show Tommy how to tune your violin to make it sound like a fiddle.
Okay. So do you have like a
Are we actually
I'm
doing
a
this?
like
musician.
an art?
Is this happening?
What happening?
Or we're actually
Well,
going
I'm
through
just
this?
seeing how successful he could be at trying to tune this violin.
Well,
So I'm a musician,
fine art.
and I do play violin as well.
Right.
Fine art's one of my only major like skills.
Caleb, do you have a specific talent for that, or is it just more of a hobby thing?
No, like that's one of my talents. It's also my that is also my treasured possession is my violin that my father gave me.
So if he is unfamiliar with tuning it in that way, then you can go ahead and try and help him. Otherwise, he's just going to already know how to do it.
I know how to tune, I just don't know how to I've never played the fiddle.
Yeah, to sound like a... It's a what?
I'm going to teach you Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Devil went down to Georgia.
The song's not written for like another 50 years.
Looking for
Yeah.
a soul to steal.
Everything's
Just
pretty
steal it.
basic.
Okay, so my violin is a 50 and I rolled a 31.
Okay, so you succeeded.
Oh, I'm gonna change. I guess I'll change my fine art to violin, just so that we don't get mixed up on that again.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't
Alright.
get your knickers in a bunch.
Do I have to roll to understand if I like learn it, or did she just teach that to me?
Well, I would say just for the future, you would have, like, if you wanted to just do that on your own, even if you are well adjusted to know how to play a violin, you wouldn't know how to tune it to sound like a fiddle
Okay.
because you play the violin. But now I would say instead of maybe making a hard success, you would just have to make a regular success, or instead of a 1/5, just do a hard success.
All right. So he's gonna teach me a little bit of jazz, and then I guess we'll go to bed.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say one thing. After they're like done with that, could I like stay up for a little bit and watch the graveyard and see if anything weird happens?
Sure.
With that one guy, we never asked his name.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mr. Gardner?
Okay, so Justine and Tommy going to sleep. Ivy's going
Sure. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick.
Okay. Go ahead and make a luck roll, Ivy.
Is that like the same as any other roll?
Yeah, so your luck is just that the stat above your investigator skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got it. I just wasn't sure if I.
What do you take away from your luck?
So you use your luck, like generally when you're pushing. It's something that's kind of introduced later, but if you fail a roll that you really want to succeed, when you push it, you can reduce your luck to add to your roll.
Oh, I did so good. Okay, I was like, what is that number? It's 8. I'm so stupid. I was
Okay.
like, 8, and my
Yeah.
luck is 6.
So generally you can take however much luck you want. So if you have 45, you could use all 45 of that on a roll if you really wanted to make that roll. But now
Okay.
your luck is 0, and things like this will be impacted. And there are ways to regain it, but it's a slow process. Like, but between sessions, you may get somewhere around 5 to 10 at most. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So she succeeded. Ivy keeping a lookout. Where specifically were you watching from? Like, I guess there's a window.
Yeah, if there's a window close to looking out on the graveyard.
There's just the window in the study.
Mm-hmm. Or could I like go outside and sit somewhere, like kind of by the house?
Where would you like to sit?
Could I just like take a chair outside, face the graveyard?
She just sits in a
Like,
chair. She's
I
got
don't
like
need-
shotgun in hand, like.
So that's a overlay, and you can kind of see a bit of the rock wall. I clipped that just in case, because the cemetery is just beyond that.
Yeah. So.
But that's the layout. You can see the number 2 there is the study,
right.
and that has a window in it that was kind of open, not open, but physically not stable, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I'll just go outside and sit. I'll enjoy the peaceful. Oh my god.
The peaceful
Rip.
Oh bad. Anyway, yeah, I'll just go sit outside because I don't want to be obstructed. I want to see
Okay.
what I see. Maybe
You're
I'll
just
have
gonna like peek around the side of the house, get behind a tree out there, close to the house.
I'm just gonna sit.
Sit where?
Outside the window to the study.
Outside the window to the study? Okay.
Yeah, have a smoke.
Okay.
Just pull out a smoke real quick.
It's pretty racy for a woman in the 20s.
Not really. In the 20s, everybody smoked.
Well, that's when they
Hard
started
life,
doing that stuff, but that's where the
Yeah.
term flapper came from. Okay, so while you're waiting there,
Mm-hmm.
you see the silhouette of a figure coming your way from the graveyard.
Oh god.
So as you start to notice the figure, you see him turn, walk away,
Where does he walk?
back towards the graveyard.
Oh. Can I like follow him
If you want to.
from a pretty like big distance? But I do kind of just want to
Okay.
like get a little closer. Like,
I mean, you're a good distance away. There's pretty clear visibility. It's just you smoking a cigarette. They see the cherry in the dark,
yeah,
so he could see that and just turn
and
and walk
that's all
away.
he can see.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's dark, so you just see his silhouette.
Okay, then I'll put it out and I'll like follow
Okay.
it.
Are you going to have any light source? You walk in the dark.
Dang it, that cigarette!
Eh, it's like a flashlight.
Oh.
I'll just walk in the dark. I don't know. My eyes will fucking adjust. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't know enough about if flashlights existed or if I have.
They did.
I'm
Early
good.
flashlights existed.
Yeah.
They're big.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
I have time to run and get one.
Well, I mean, would your character feasibly have one on you?
I feel like she would
mean,
more just have like matches or something. Like
Yeah.
she wouldn't
Okay.
have a flashlight on her right now.
So you're probably, I mean, you can keep your distance. Like when you see, presumably a male figure walking away, you're
Mhm.
keeping your distance if you immediately start walking that direction.
Okay. That's
But
fine.
like I said, it's a good distance. like-
Mhm.
Football field, 100 yards.
Okay.
Okay. While you're doing that, go ahead and make a navigate check,
Okay.
because you're unfamiliar with this path, and now you're walking at night through it. There's lots of trees and brush around.
Yeah, I failed 35.
Okay. Well, it's not too bad. It's just like you kind of veer off a little bit, but then you notice the rock wall. You're familiar with that and know, okay, I need to go over this way, and you can see the opening. So you just lose a few seconds of time basically doing that.
Okay.
But then, I mean, you get to the graveyard and the figure is not there. He's far enough away that as he's entering the cemetery, there's lots of stuff that will block line of sight.
Okay. Cool. Can I just kind of just keep looking around, see if anything's happened?
Sure.
I don't know how to do this.
How do people?
It's just so different.
I want you to. Well, you said you're looking around.
Sure.
So if you want to look for anything, because you have like no source of light,
Yeah.
you can make a spot or track hidden, but you'll need to make a hard success because you only have matches as light.
Okay. Let's see what I got. Big time though.
Hard no.
Hard no there, bud.
No.
Okay.
Big no.
Okay.
One day I'll succeed at something.
It happens.
Yay. I
What
was
would
just
you
saying
like to
yay.
do?
I guess if I don't really see anything, like no weird creatures running around the graveyard at night, then I guess I'll go home.
Okay. Alright.
Just wanted to see. And then I'll go to bed.
Okay.
But hey, I got something.
You were
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
You
There's
almost did a thing.
Something or nothing. Who knows? Alright. So, you all arise with the early morning. Ivy stayed up a little bit later, so she's sleeping a little bit later, unless you want to wake her up.
Did she tell us about what she saw last night?
She said she just went to bed.
I figured you guys were asleep, so
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
talk to you over breakfast. And
Tommy
I'm on
trying to
its
play
way.
his fiddle.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out like why you would play the fiddle. It doesn't sound as good, but you know.
What? You just say, you little.
I'm gonna wake up and play a little bit of classical music on my violin.
Okay.
Do I wake up to that?
I mean, if
Why-
you come down to
You're
breakfast.
so offended you wake up.
I mean, you guys went to bed at roughly the same time. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
whether
Yeah,
you're
he's younger.
nearby.
He wakes up earlier.
I'm heading down to the breakfast table and I'm just kind of like playing a couple like songs just to kind of keep my fingers. I do have a recital in like 2 weeks, so I need to keep it going, you know.
I love that.
Well,
I'll try some fiddle stuff too. I'll mix it in a little bit. Maybe I'll play fiddle at my recital and people will boo me off the stage. Because you know what? This ain't New Orleans.
oh, this kid needs to be beat. So on the car, yay or nay on car?
There's a car.
I would like to borrow the car.
Are you talking to Thomas? Are we at the breakfast
Yes.
table with Thomas?
Can I please borrow the car for the investigation?
Borrow my car.
Yeah, do you...
I mean,
or could you take us into town? Are you doing errands today?
I don't know about doing errands, but
you can just drop us
I
off.
suppose. Yeah, I can drop you off in town. That's not too much of a hassle.
Could you pick us up also?
Well, that would be kind of difficult. I don't know how long you'll be where you're going. Where are you going?
It takes me. We're going to the library and the police
We're just
station.
going into town.
We're just going to town. I guess I didn't say that. If you want to cut me off.
Well, I'll
For
tell
the
you what.
investigation.
True.
I'll tell you what. You guys can do what you need to do, and I'll come back in at sunset and
Oof.
meet you guys at the library.
Sounds perfect.
Alrighty. Well,
Alright.
let's go wake up Ivy and we can head out.
I'll walk out with my morning cigarette already lit.
Oh my god.
That's how she eats in the morning. A cigarette and a hot cup of black coffee. Really gets you going. Still playing
Okay, I'll
violin.
It's too early for that.
Am I learning how to sing The Devil Went Down to Georgia 2, Jacob?
I was joking about that. That song
I
doesn't
know.
exist.
I can exist. We can steal it from right out from under them. Miss Justine, would you like to sit in the back with me?
Not particularly.
Oh, come on, you guys don't have to be that mean to me. I know that like I'm intimidating, but
And as he says that, smack him on the head with a newspaper.
Ow. This is gonna be an ongoing theme. You have to smack me when I get too privileged.
Check your privilege. I love this angle we're taking.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the car and get going.
Who's sitting in the back with me?
Like, I guess me.
Aw.
Are we not friends?
No, we are. I just
so-
know that you will accept me and he won't, or she won't.
Well, it's a short drive into town. For anyone who cares, it's a Ford Model T, because those are the classic old school 1900s car. Pretty much the only one around, as far as I know. So you guys are kind of cramped in there, but because there's a child and 2 women, it's not too bad.
Okay.
So you guys make it into town. He drops you off. Are you all going to the same place now, or are you still planning on splitting up?
Like, we're still planning on splitting up.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna go to the police station.
Okay. Well,
Bye,
It's
Miss
a-
Justine. Have
Bye,
fun.
Thomas.
it's a small enough place, so he just drops you off at like a
The square.
yeah, pretty much like the central location in town. Everything's right there anyway.
Right
It's just
before we get out of distance to where Justine can't yell back at us, I'm gonna yell one more thing. Hope you get your information. I know we will.
Okay, so
I just said.
we'll do the library first, because there's 2 of you going there.
Yay!
Okay, so as you're walking in, I'll just have both of you go ahead and make a library use roll.
Okay.
Roll for library.
Roll to use the library.
I passed mine.
God damn it, no.
Okay,
47.
so
Life.
okay,
I'm just a
So-
literate.
Tommy knows his way around the library. It's pretty evident. Like, just walking in, you can immediately see, okay, here's the categorized sections, and you know immediately where to go to find, the Arnoldsburg Advertiser.
Okay.
So looking back through the backlog of these newspapers, you find one dated over 10 years ago about an alleged sighting of a band of people that apparently had no clothes on, and they were cavorting in the cemetery next to the Kimball house.
This is very peculiar.
The constable was summoned, and the cemetery searched, but no sign of the strangers were ever found. But they did find misshapen footprints.
Shaken and moving.
What kind of
Is
misshapen?
information being shared with me?
They were just not human, or not a foot or shoe from a human or known animal.
Well, it was this easy to find this. I hope that Justine's able to get some information out of the police that may help us, because this was a little underwhelming.
Well, hey, there's still more here we can look for.
I mean, we can look through some stuff. We can maybe ask. So, I mean, do you know anything about a random group of people that would get naked? I mean, that sounds like a cultish thing, right?
Yeah, would I know? Can I make like a roll? Like, would I maybe know what this kind of gathering might have been, or like what kind of creatures maybe?
A cult check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like what kind of-
Go,
Any
yeah,
kind of
go ahead
occult-
and make an occult check.
I'm gonna put my hand on you and be like, in a different world, this would give you some sort of inspiration.
Sounds like
Fiddle.
Now I want
11.
Thomas to be a
Oh, I did
bard.
so good. Okay. That was the first success. Finally,
You got a success.
It worked.
Caleb, I just have.
So I rolled an 11, and my
Oh, that's a
I
good.
think my fifth good the
Yeah, it's like a
fifth,
critical
like
success.
14.
The thing you can tell
D&D.
is actually the fact that can't tell what is going on here. Like misshapen footprints, like there's at occult gatherings or something weird like this, you would expect, maybe animal sacrifices or weird things drawn around, but you were at the graveyard earlier. There wasn't any weird things sketched on or etched onto any of the graves or anything weird like that. So it in one way it seems like it could be an occult thing, but at the same time it's like it doesn't quite match up. So your information you gather here is that it wasn't a visible occult thing. Yeah.
And
or at least one that you know of.
Yeah, when was that article written? Yeah.
It was 10 years ago, so it's like 1912.
10.
Well, this is 1922. You guys are in specifically.
Okay, so 1912. It's actually nothing occult that I know of.
Yeah. So as you guys are looking through these newspapers, a man approaches you, and he says, "How are you now? My name's Artie Malloy. What can I help you with? I see you looking through the newspapers here. I work for the newspaper. What can I do you for?"
Hi there.
Hi. My name's Ivy. We're looking for
nice to meet
information. Yeah, we're looking for some information about that graveyard by the camp.
Graveyard. Oh. Well, I mean, you've got some articles right there in front of you.
I mean, this is a pretty broad article, though.
Yeah. So to give some back information, the newspapers, journalists, stuff like that, they have what's called a morgue, that is old information, basically information kept from the public because it's not relevant anymore. It's also it's kept for criminal investigations, so it's not public knowledge. It's more for police to come and check because it wasn't a part of them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling you he's got all the information here, but I'm also telling you you guys would have this knowledge that there is such a thing as a morgue where other information might be kept. Because there was an investigation done for the disappearance of Douglas Kimball, but not for the break-in. You guys are basically doing the investigation for the break-in and hoping you will find more information about Douglas.
Nugget thinks we should ask about that. Do you happen to have any information that we wouldn't find here? Anything a little extra? We're investigating a disappearance at the Douglas house.
We're investigators. I know what you're probably asking yourself. I look pretty young to be an investigator, but I'm also pretty smart.
It's none of my business, young man. A thriving young mind like yourself, you may find yourself wanting to do some of this work. So you're asking him about the cemetery. So he brings up another article about the cemetery that it's basically this is the general knowledge that it gives you, is that it's a quiet area and nothing out of the ordinary has been recently reported, but 6 or 7 years ago there was reports of strange noises from the cemetery late at night. There were patrols sent by for a few weeks, but nothing was seen or heard, and the officer made a joke that it was quiet as a grave.
Huh.
So now 10 years ago there were naked figures there, and 6 or 7 years ago there were sounds there, but nothing ever seems to be there.
Is it like a cyclical thing? Like, are there like can I find any articles from maybe 4 years ago about anything like this happening?
No, that's the only other thing that gives credence or is relevant to the cemetery at all, besides burials there. That's the only other information.
Okay. Are there any articles on parents of Douglas? That's his name, maybe.
Yeah. And then he hands you. There's another article there about the disappearance, and there was a photo of the man, so you have a better, like an actual photograph of him now.
Mhm.
But the article says that they looked far and wide, but they could not find him. Just poof, gone.
Okay. And there were no signs of like anything in the house, like no signs of a struggle.
No,
Right.
just the books were touched. And Thomas has been staying there, and he said
And then
that's the only thing that came up missing.
Well, did
But
you?
the books were like recent.
Yeah, because he stays there.
Yeah.
So he noticed that because the bookshelf was one thing he never touched. He moved in there, and he's made it his own house. But that was one area. That whole study area was one thing he never really messed with because it was so important to his uncle.
Do,
And
do you know anyone who may have been interested in this specific story and maybe maybe broke into his house for that reason, or like maybe wanted to know more information about Douglas, like, because it seems like it could have been put together at some point by someone. Do you know anyone who was interested in that or something?
about interested in his books.
Interested in Douglas overall. I mean, it seems like there was a couple weird, not quite put together things about his disappearance and maybe some other information in the town. I'm wondering if someone else could have put that together and maybe connected that in some way. And that's the reason we're here today.
Well, the only general knowledge about him was that nobody really knew a whole lot about him. Everybody knew he kept to himself. He would wave, say hello. He was courteous, but he never did anything. Just read.
And there was no one
Hung out
interested
next
in him?
to the cemetery. No, he wasn't interested in anyone.
He just read. Well, thank you.
Okay. Are you gonna say or do anything, Ivy?
Yeah, I mean, so it's called a morgue.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's for the criminal investigations that are done. They keep the more information back there. Basically, they can't have it be public knowledge for certain reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we've been hired by Douglas Kimball's nephew to investigate his disappearance. Is there any chance, if you have any arts pertaining to his disappearance or that graveyard or anything that could possibly be helpful to us, if you have any more information that's not necessarily public knowledge, is there any way I could get a look at that?
Well, we got the old morgue out back, but I don't know about that. You guys, you're from out of town. I don't really know much about you. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll, a persuade, or you can charm, persuade, or fast talk, but you have to role play it a little bit. How you gonna do it? You can charm him, persuade him, or fast talk. Fast talk is kind of half truths and.
I have money.
Okay.
If you want to throw that in there, I do have some money.
Give me a second. Let me think about it. What does this man look like?
He's a little bit shorter, not like he's pretty
Short and
average. No, he's a little short, a little portly, not like obese, but he's got a couple extra pounds on him.
Mm-hmm.
Got like a vest on, white shirt underneath it. Full head of hair, kind of not quite middle age, maybe early 30s.
Okay. I prefer to charm because that's a little higher.
I believe in you.
Oh, I'm so scared. Nice.
So you can go with your persuasion roll because the information you said was basically persuading, but if you want to choose charm or fast talk, you'll have to try a different approach.
No way I'm gonna persuade him.
Same.
So, I'm sure. Oh well, is he a reporter or a journalist or is there?
He's the editor for the newspaper.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, his disappearance was extremely mysterious, and we're looking to get to the bottom of it. Imagine what a great story it would be if we can finally figure out what happened to this man. And if you give us access, I don't know, we'll have a great story for you.
You'll be the first to know about it.
You'll be the first, yeah. What he said.
Minus Thomas, of course.
That was Tommy. Can I roll
Yeah, go ahead.
it? I'm sorry, I'm the worst.
No, it's fine.
I'm not good at this, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
You'll get better.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was a 91.
Oh God. Yeah, I was getting ready to say you could try and use some luck up on it, but not for a 91. I would not recommend that.
Tell me, you want me to try to you want me to try the money thing again? I can try the money thing again, Abbi. I can do that.
If you want to, that's all I got left.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, kid.
Well, I was just I was wondering, we really hate to waste people's time, and I completely understand that this may either waste your time or maybe you think that we probably shouldn't have this information, but it would really just help us a lot, and just to make sure that it also helps you out, I have a little bit of money that I can give you on the side, just to like maybe help you help us, you know.
So are you trying to persuade with like bribery? Basically?
What is fast talking? Like what does that entail?
So fast talk is kind of like using deception. Basically, you're telling half truths without being a total scumbag. Basically, so
why do I have fast talk as a thing then? I'm not a deception person. Oh well, I've got it.
Okay, so you're. Let me see here.
Okay, can I say I'm fast talking because I pull out my whole wad of money, but I'm only gonna end up giving a couple bucks?
Yeah, so it says specifically fast talk is like making somebody look the other way so you can sneak past them, making somebody sign something they haven't read.
Okay. I guess
like
persuade
that. So
then.
It's overall just a deceptive thing. It's not necessarily evil, it's just trickery.
Okay. I'm gonna
So,
persuade then. It's not fast talk.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and make a persuasion.
This has to be so low, like
I said, you're not going to hit a wall here. You guys will find a way around whatever is happening.
Plus, I still gotta go to the police station.
that's true. No, it's a 58, and my persuasion's still 10%. So
It's a failure.
yeah.
All right, he looks at you. You kind of had his attention until you pulled out the money. He's like, there's such a thing as journalistic integrity, boy. I thought you might learn something from this, and hoped you might, take some interest in the newspaper yourself. But I ain't interested in the money. I want the story. And so you kind of lost him there.
Well, that's where me and you differ, you know? I feel like money is a pretty powerful thing, but anyway, journalistic or not, we'll be able to figure this out. Have a good day, sir. We're gonna go meet up with our,
I'm just imagining that this kid has the most money on anyone in this entire town.
yeah, I probably do. Let's go, Ivy. Let's leave this guy behind, I guess.
Alrighty. So we'll go to the Justine going to the police station.
Okay, so I want to see if I can find like the police report on Douglas's disappearance.
You want to find the actual police report?
Or like talk to the police about it. I mean, whatever comes first.
Okay. So you walk into the police station, and the man working there, the open desk, you approach him. Back into there, and he says, "What can I do for you, young lady?"
Oh well, I'm investigating a disappearance, and I was wondering if I could ask a few questions.
Disappearance? You talking about Douglas?
Yeah.
That's the only disappearance we've had around here, so I can only assume.
Well, you assume correctly.
Yeah, I mean, the information's all in the newspaper. Was all in the newspaper. He disappeared. Poof, gone. We looked and looked and looked. Nobody's heard, seen, nothing.
That's odd. No leads, no nothing. He just poof.
No, we put his photo out there far and wide. Nothing.
Does he have any other family besides Thomas that you know of?
Nah, Thomas is the only one that ever stuck around that could tolerate the old man, and the only one that the old man could tolerate. Douglas didn't really get around other folk too much.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Well, thanks for your help, officer.
Not a problem, young lass. You have yourself a fine day.
And that's how you do that. I guess I'll head over to the library because that's where they're at.
Okay.
We just walked out, I think. So we're gonna meet up in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all around the same area. In fact, Jacob probably would be, well, Justine would be coming out of there quicker than you guys were coming out of the library, because it takes time to still search around and find the articles you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. You guys all meet up in the library, I guess, as they're coming out.
Well, I came up with squat.
We got slightly more than squat, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, we have some weird information on the cemetery, but, like, that's not really what we're looking at right now, I guess. But it could come into handy if we need if Douglas was really trying to find whatever the things from under are, but I mean, the whole break-in thing doesn't really make sense right now. I'm going to show him Wait, do we have the articles, or did we leave those in there?
Didn't really get copies of them.
Oh, God. I'll just show him my notebook, because I have a notebook that I've been taking notes in. This is what we found, pretty much. Just some random jibble-jobble about some naked people and weird footprints.
About 10 years ago, a group of naked people danced around in the cemetery, never got caught. 6 or 7 years ago, there were lots of sounds there.
No
Wondering
one's
what
there.
went on.
That's very strange.
Oh. There is more information in the morgue out back, but we couldn't get the guy. Didn't want to accept any money to let us go back there and see it. He was telling me, "Oh, you should read through the newspaper and you should care about the story." And I'm like, "Haha."
Halted his journalistic integrity, Tommy.
Journalistic
I almost
integrity
had him.
can't buy you a mansion, can't buy you a nice car, can't buy you pay for the workers and the maids.
Well, you won't be able to either if I kick your ass. Anyway, I forgot to tell you guys this morning. Last night I stayed up a little bit late, watching the cemetery because for some reason it's been intriguing me. And I saw a figure walking towards me from the cemetery. And as soon as he noticed the light of my cigarette, he turned away, and I tried to follow him, but I lost him.
Well,
that's probably the best thing we have for a lead.
I mean, we can check the morgue.
Yeah. We met the editor. of the newspaper, and I know for a fact they have articles and information not open to the public, so we should find a way to get into there.
We can just head over to the newspaper right now and see if we can just get in there somehow. I mean, the editor's probably not sitting at the place right now. He looked like he's still chilling in the library. So,
What time is it?
Oh yeah, it's important.
It's only been a couple of hours since you guys got into town. I mean, it wasn't exactly like early morning whenever you guys got in here anyway, because you took some time in the morning to eat and all that stuff.
I honestly don't think we can find much else here.
you don't
Why
think
you
we should go to the morgue?
I think we should investigate the graveyard more.
Well, I mean,
What I like to hear.
can we at least check the morgue?
I don't know that we'll be able to get in.
It's
He
just
said he
bothering me because this
We didn't
guy,
trust him because we were out of towners.
he's probably not. He's sitting in the library still. Let's just go back to the morgue real quick.
Well, do we know where it is? How are we going to get it?
It's right out back. We'll see if they accept money. If they don't, we can leave. It's just really quick. We'll just be like, hey, and we'll leave. Hey, then we'll leave. You know, if it works, it works. You know,
Guess it doesn't hurt to ask. Let's go.
we're gonna walk into the morgue.
Walk into the morgue. Well,
place-
so yeah, so it's like a back area of the library.
Gosh,
that's locked
fuck.
up.
Yeah.
Damn it! I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's a physical like section of the library.
And what is it, like, blocked off some?
Yeah. So it's locked up so that only certain people can go through there.
Did
I
any
mean,
of
if the newspaper knew more about what was going on, the police maybe could have found Douglas. I don't think that they know much.
Yeah, you're right. We're focusing on the wrong things here. Maybe let's just head back to the cemetery, graveyard.
Alright. Is there a place I could buy a shovel?
A what?
Is there a general store?
Are we buying a shovel and starting to fucking dig up graves now?
Or does Thomas have a shovel? Like, I don't...
The one guy
I
had
mean,
a
they do
shovel.
live out in the country. There's probably a shovel back at the house.
No, the one dude had a shovel.
Yeah, the gardener.
He was a gardener. He probably took it with...
He's probably there
Yeah, but
today.
he's probably working again today. It's Tuesday.
Let's go meet up. Let's just go check it. Let's go check. Let's just go talk to him. He actually smart and understood that money has value, so he may want to maybe talk to us a little more. I think your guys' idea to go back to the graveyard was better than mine to go try to break into the morgue. Or
Personal growth.
So proud of you. It's growing up.
grow up so fast.
All right. So we got to walk, right? Because Thomas wasn't coming back until sunset.
It's only
He's
like
gonna show up, what the fuck?
it's like 30 minutes. I mean, we'll be back at the house so we can tell him.
So presumably he's just coming into town for a little bit, and he was just coming back to pick you guys up.
Okay, that's
So he's, he may be already back at the house, or he may still be in town somewhere. But
okay.
To the house.
All right, we're walking.
Oh,
You said
Unless
it's
there's
like
taxi service.
You said it's like a 30-minute walk, right?
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Oh, is there a taxi service or like a cart service of some sort?
it's small enough, and everybody kind of lives together. It's only this one house that's kind of set pretty far out.
Yeah.
There's not a taxi service in this small of a place.
Makes
All right, let's get walking then.
What are you guys doing back at the?
Look for Thomas, see if he has a shovel.
Oh, were you going back to the house or the cemetery?
Cemetery.
House, then cemetery.
Wait, we're going
House
to
and cemetery.
Are we actually
Okay,
about
house.
to We're gonna dig up a graveyard. We're gonna get killed. We're gonna die. Our characters are gonna die. I'm too young. I'm too rich and young.
Exactly where you need to die.
You said you were looking for a shovel and
And
Yeah.
Thomas.
house and Thomas. Thomas is not back yet.
Oh
Okay.
But I mean, you guys
You made
pretty
me
common knowledge
walk.
where a shovel might be.
Okay, then I will look for a shovel.
Okay. So this is also, if you want to do it this way, they're not too worried about a lot of crime in this area. It's the 1920s in a small town. Everybody knows each other. You saw the gardener out earlier with all of his tools. There's not like a place to lock it up per se.
Mm-hmm.
So you know for certain there would be a shovel in the cemetery. Whether it is locked up or not is up to you to go and check. But so do you want to still look for a shovel at Thomas's?
I mean, why not? Just in case.
Okay.
Then maybe if there's 2 shovels, we can work double fast. You know.
You can find a shovel easy enough. This is a quaint little house, but there's still yard work to be done. Thomas has been trying to keep the place kind of nice anyway. So you can find a shovel easy enough.
Yay!
Okay.
Woohoo. Then we head to the cemetery.
Okay.
And I kind of want to go I mean, I have to, but like, maybe can I keep an eye out for any place that man disappeared last night? Is that a thing I could do?
If you want to search again now that it's daylight, I'll let you go ahead and try a track roll specifically.
Okay. Can do.
And the other 2 can help with this.
How would
Because everybody knows about because you told them about the figure. So if they want to also look for that stuff, they can.
I rolled a 99.
Oh,
That's
baby.
bad.
Let's see. Oh, 98.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Would
You
you
gonna do it?
Would you believe me if I said 97? Because I didn't roll 97. I did fail though. I rolled a 34. Wait, on
Okay.
track? Yeah, I don't know track.
I want to investigate the tombstone again. See if there's any maybe it's an entrance or something. I don't know. Is it one of those big mausoleum slab tombstones, or is it
Yeah.
Okay.
While you guys were, it's not like a gigantic one, but anyway, while you guys were looking around for tracks, Justine and Ivy walking side by side, spending so much time looking straight down for some tracks, trip over a tree root that started to grow up underneath the trail you guys are on. So you both trip and fall on the same root at the same time, and Tommy is just there and witnesses it happen. Nothing really happens. It's just
You guys both fell. That was so funny. Get up. We have to keep going. That's so great. Abbi.
Yeah, I want to check that tombstone and see if I can find any maybe he left a note near it or something like that.
Well, you searched the tombstone earlier. I mean, if you want to take a closer look, you could go ahead.
Yeah, what would that be?
Again, a spot hidden or track specifically around the tombstone.
Is the gardener here today?
Nope, failed.
Yeah, but he still is disinterested after the conversation. He's just these guys again. Did you succeed or fail?
Fail.
Fail. Okay. We got a little bit of time left on this. Do you guys want to try and wrap this up for now and try and pick it up?
This was fun.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, I like it. I love Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu, interesting
I
aspect.
hope our audience enjoyed it. We will be having a special stream on Saturday, apparently.
Hopefully.
So, I just want to say thanks everybody for watching. Michael did a great job.
Nice job,
Thank you,
Michael.
thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Flagon Slayers. We're finishing up our little journey into Call of Cthulhu, our dipping our toes into it. We got really close to finishing up what we had last week, so we just decided to go ahead and finish it up on a Saturday, so we can still do our whole D&D setup tomorrow with Jacob.
Yep.
So we're gonna get back into Paper Chase and finish this bad boy up. We have Ivy, Justine, and Tommy investigating the disappearance and, well, more specifically, a break-in at a house, and along the way, hopefully finding out about the disappearance of the original dweller of the home. There's been a lot of searching, a lot of weird clues here and there, but no
A lot of
definitive
nothing.
stuff. Yeah, roll better, scrub.
The police were useless.
I wasn't.
Dweller.
Tommy was amazing.
Yeah, so right at the end of the last session, I believe you all had just gotten back to the home, and were grabbing some shovels to head out to the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing something with shovels.
Mm-hmm.
What am I good at? I forget. Violin.
Library stuff.
Good at libraries and violin. I'm glad that I'm back to this. We're good.
Yeah. So I guess at this point, you guys had spent a little bit of the day kind of looking through the books and the newspapers and talking to people in town, and then having to get back to the place. And so it's starting to it's not getting dark, but it's getting, it's basically sunset. It's getting later on in the evening. You guys can take it from there.
Abbi said that there was a figure last night.
Yes,
Yes.
there was.
Strange.
Don't know who he was, or if it was a he, I don't. Could have been anybody.
We're all inclusive here. Could have been.
Could have been anybody or anything. Who knows?
Does Call of Cthulhu have like kind of mythical creatures at all, or is it more just like gods?
Yeah.
Humans?
A lot of like different monsters out there. Like the Cthulhu stuff is it's based on some old books, and they from H.P. Lovecraft, and they have a lot of different movies and fantasy things have taken stuff from it, like the tentacle monster thing that Jacob is trying to make with his face now is basically a big thing in the Cthulhu. It's not the only thing, but
Everything has tentacles.
Cthulhu is, well, they have different, there's a whole hierarchy of like elder gods, outer gods, inner gods, all this crazy stuff.
It's like belly buttons.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, the whole thing, it's very complicated to break down, and there's not really like this is the chief deity of these gods or anything, and it's very kind of vague. But there's a lot of
very
different,
primordial.
yeah. It's more of like their influence on the planet more so than them being like doing something to the planet. They just talk through other people and stuff like that. But a lot of other stuff has taken influence from these things and made their own weird creatures out of them.
Like mind flayers in D&D.
Yeah. Mind flayers, beholders, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, but they've got a whole thing.
The only
sunset.
Yeah. Wait, is it? Was it that late in the day?
Yeah. You guys had kind of like a late breakfast and got toted into town, but then you were at the library for a while looking at those things, finding your information there and moseying around town a little bit. And then you guys walked back because it was a little bit too early for Kimball to come and get you guys.
Did we tell him that we're back?
No, we tried, and then he wasn't in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's still out.
But then we still took the shovel. Anyway.
Well, it was Justine. Abby, what was your character's name?
Ivy.
Ivy,
That's
okay.
right.
Because I'm sorry, I'm too
It's
used.
too good to remember our names.
There's too many. I'm just just playing D&D and this, and I'm just trying to remember all these names.
I know, like, a whole 2 is so hard.
All right, let's just get into this. So we have shovels. Are we heading to the cemetery right now? Then.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a question for you, Tommy. Have you ever, like, used a shovel?
Have you ever done work in your life?
Yeah.
Well, I do schoolwork. I
Nerd.
work on my violin. I did a little bit of piano back in the day. I don't really
He's like
work
12.
out in the yard. I mean, like when I was 6, I did piano, but I stopped for violin. It was too easy.
Well, you're gonna learn how to use a shovel today.
Didn't that the one gardener guy not really want us to do something like, dig in the cemetery? Seems a little.
He didn't say anything about it.
Seems like he didn't really want us there.
I don't think he said anything about it. I think that's just you not wanting to. I mean, we'll probably get in trouble for it, but...
See, that's the part that I'm, like, kind of thinking about, is, like, do we really want to...
you have money. You can just buy us out of it.
You're right, let's just do it. I don't know what I was
if we
thinking.
discover something important, then I think they won't really care that much.
Okay. Who has the shovels?
I have one of the shovels, and I'm gonna just throw it to Tommy and have him try and catch it.
Is that a roll, or do I just say if I
What are you trying to do?
catch the shovel that he just chucked at me?
I didn't shuck it. I held it like this, and I went, eh.
A little toss.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a dexterity check on it.
Okay.
Just do.
Can I just let it fall to the ground without even
if
trying?
you want to.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that instead. What was that?
That is how you dig a hole. You grab the shovel.
No. I understand what a shovel is. I'm wondering why you threw it at my feet.
Because I'm not digging.
Well, if you're not digging it, I'm not digging. Is Ivy
Oh no,
digging?
you're digging.
No. I think. What if we just pay the gardener guy to dig for us?
I don't think he's here. I think he's done for the day.
Listen, how about we take turns digging?
Sure, you go first.
That's fine. But as long as we're taking turns.
Yep, we'll take turns.
Okay. Where are we digging?
That's what we gotta figure out.
All right. Well, you said that there were some people here last night, and we didn't find any tracks here, so...
Wait, yeah, are there any tracks of, like, this person that you supposedly saw?
Well, it's kind of like a dirt path, and she had tried to follow it, and I
Yeah,
think
but she didn't have a light.
Yeah, but I think you guys had went in there the next day to look around and didn't see anything again.
Yeah.
Can I look for
I think
tracks
that was
anyway?
really like this moment. I was like, oh, while we're walking over, can I try and see where they might have gone?
Yeah.
Well, you just saw that they were heading in the direction of the cemetery, and then whenever you had gotten into the cemetery, it was gone. I'll let you go ahead and make another tracking check.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to succeed.
Bless
Let's
you.
just be honest here.
Yeah, I'm definitely not, but it couldn't hurt.
I'm.
I guess.
You never know.
I feel like I'm not smart enough for Call of Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, big no. Oh wait.
Or I just haven't played this enough to understand what I'm
No,
supposed
that's
to
a
look
40.
for.
Sorry, I got confused. Never mind.
There's not really a wrong way to play, Caleb. It's just like everybody has their own ideas for, things you can seek out for. Excuse me, for like in this case, going to different locations, or you guys have grabbed shovels to go and sneak around. There's not really a wrong way to do it. It's more of like there's a beginning and an end, and how you get there is just however you want to play.
Yeah.
It's not like D&D where there's clearly defined objectives.
Yeah, where if a bridge breaks, you just are screwed or something.
For a video game example, D&D is your classic JRPG. Call of Cthulhu is more like your visual novel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you have. I'll tell you that you do have knowledge already of a big thing that you guys can do that you haven't put together yet. Jacob already pretty much knows, but
I think I know what it is.
you have the pieces.
Put together, or like you mean put together like physically, or do you mean
another
like
big thing that you can
Metaphorically.
solve
Okay,
this.
yeah, I would assume it would be breaking into the morgue. That would be what I'm assuming. Don't answer that, Jacob or Michael. But I'm assuming that's probably what it is.
I forgot. Is the morgue the place with dead bodies or something else?
It's the
Yeah.
newspaper place, wasn't it?
It's the newspaper
That-
thing.
Yeah.
Different morgue, yeah.
But yeah,
I just think you really don't want to dig.
What?
Ivy looked around, but there's too many other footprints, and people haven't really come and gone frequently, but the gardener has still been through, wheelbarrows going through, and other tools and stuff, not to mention just the natural wind and weather on a dirt path.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure about this whole digging thing if we don't even know where to dig. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of work, and
Didn't Thomas say that his uncle had like a favorite tombstone or something?
You asking me?
I'm just asking. I'm putting it out in the aether.
Yeah, there was one he used to always
Bad thing.
sit and read on or something like that.
We could start there. I mean,
I
Yeah,
feel
I
like that'd be
think
the
that's
only
the best
place to even
maybe
dig.
he got murdered and they buried him in his favorite spot.
Or it's like an opening to
On
the
top of another
underground.
grave.
Doesn't hurt to check.
Well, I might as well check. Who's okay? If I'm digging, who's on watch?
I will.
All right. Well,
We
we're,
have 2 shovels.
yeah, we're also kind of screwed anyway. Like if someone comes by, because
Well, we could wait. We could wait until the sun goes down so that they can't see us.
that seems like a lot of waiting for no
I
reason.
mean, it's
though.
already sunset. It would be maybe
Yeah.
another 20 minutes.
But like, who would come back out here? Like, it would be Thomas. We'd be like, "Hey, Thomas, we're just doing the work you told us to do, and we're following the trail." And then if it was the gardener,
we're
I'd just be
desecrating
like,
some tombs. Like,
So then why are you worried?
"Exactly."
So then let's just get started.
Shh. That's me.
Uh,
That was me
Can
starting.
I check around the grave that was, what's his name? What's his face's favorite?
wasn't it
Douglas.
Douglas?
Douglas. I knew it started with a D.
Yeah,
I was
Douglas
like,
and Thomas.
There we go. I was like, I know it's such a. Sorry, can I check it?
You're wanting to check out his favorite gravestone?
Yeah.
I think
Aren't I digging it right now?
What are we
you
doing?
never really specified
Oh,
where you.
I wanted to. I want to specify that is where I'm currently digging. Was the
Okay,
gravestone?
well, let
that
me
we took.
check it first.
Okay.
I'm already like a foot deep. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's still only that's still only one spot, but she can still look at other areas around there.
Okay.
Go ahead and do a spot hidden or a tracking roll again.
Let's. Oh, big no. It's an 88.
Big no. Yeah, you guys are just really struggling with the whole tracking, because I know Justine had tried. I think everybody has tried tracking, and it's not in the cards. It's not. You're not outdoorsy people.
Yeah, we're bookworms, jazz singers. You know, I'm in clubs more than I'm out in nature.
Yep.
Next time I'm gonna make an old nature guy.
Make Prospector Pete.
Hey guys, my name's Prospector Pete here. I love tracking.
He coughs up part of his lung.
Guys, I've gotten like 3 inches down and I'm just really tired. Does someone want to switch off with me?
Nope.
Ah, fuck. I'm just gonna keep doing it, I
That's a
guess.
muscle. You'll be okay.
Is there anything I like
The ladies
while
like muscles.
while I'm sitting here just randomly digging a hole? Is there like, am I seeing anything? Like, is there anything happening? Or is it just dirt coming out of the ground?
It's just dirt. Yeah.
You usually dig about 6 feet.
Yeah, I know. Is someone helping me? Am I just doing this alone right now?
I think you're just
Yeah,
doing
you're
it
gonna-
alone.
What time is it like now?
It's pretty late in the evening now. I mean, even for him to get a few inches down into the earth, he's a young boy who hasn't done manual labor, and the spade or the shovel itself isn't exactly top of the line. Thomas isn't much of a blue collar guy himself, so it's taken a little bit to.
So I
even
want
get
to
as far as
kind of
he got.
hide. Just in case these two get found by the police, I want to have plausible deniability.
Okay.
You know what, guys? I'll go back to the house, see if I can get us some food. I'm sure you're hungry.
Whoa! Hold on. You
Yes,
said we would take turns on the digging.
My turn is last out of the 3 of us.
Hold on. There's both of us digging right now because we have 2 shovels. You haven't.
Yeah,
found it.
and I'm gonna go get us food when I get back.
All right. Well,
I'll take
here's
a
the
turn.
shovel, and I'm gonna go get us food.
I don't trust you to get my food.
Okay. How anything to get away from digging, I will just get your food. So you should.
I'm walking away. I'm gone.
Okay. Well, as that's happening, Ivy, what are you doing?
I guess I grabbed the other shovel that the gardener left. I'm probably
Okay.
digging with him, but now that they both are doing this, I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
I'm not about to be the only one digging.
Mhm.
How far down are we?
You've made it a couple more inches, but as you're digging there, you're kind of lost in the manual labor there, concentrated on what you're doing, and you don't really hear. It takes you a second, but you start to hear a noise behind you, like a grinding noise of stone, and as you turn around, I need you to make a sanity check.
Oh shit. Abby, are those your dogs?
Ivy, you need to as well, and no, it's Jasper.
Oh, of course it's Jasper.
My dogs
Jasper's a
are-
sweet boy who's starting to gain some weight. So
What do I do for?
For your sanity, it's just
you have a stat.
yeah, it's just
Oh, I did
current
say
sanity is calculated. Doesn't everyone start with 99?
no, it's based off of your.
power stuff.
I think it has to do with your intelligence, I believe. There is a way to figure it out, but I don't remember now what it was. Off
Pretty
the top
sure
of my
mine
head.
was just the same as my power.
Yeah.
But mine is 70 and I rolled a 16.
Okay. So you're fine.
I don't know what my insanity or my sanity even is.
You said yours was 70, Abby?
Yeah, it's just my power stat.
It's just your. Oh yeah, it is. It's just your power.
Oh, it's
So
just
your power.
your overall power. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because on this one it's the same.
That's your starting.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I only have 30.
No way.
Yikes.
My power is only 30.
It's got to be higher than that. There's no way your sanity's 30.
Bad.
Yeah, my power's
You're 2/3 of the way to crazy.
yeah, my power's 30. So there's no way I start
I
on
think
He's a
it's
30.
little
your
boy.
intelligence.
He's susceptible. It's definitely power. Because even on this stat sheet I have in front of me, it is equal to the amount of power this character has.
Well, that sucks.
And it's the only one of that number. Because your power does go off of your sanity. Because that's because there are such a thing as spells in this game, but it costs you sanity to be able to use them, and it goes off of your power.
Interesting. So I just have to roll below a 30. Wow, that should be super easy. I rolled a 71. How do I only have 30 sanity? Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I don't know how you rolled up your primary stats, so I couldn't tell you. Because on these other ones, the lowest you can get for your primary stat is a 40.
I watched a video
that's
on
why
this.
He's such a jerk. He's actually like half crazy.
Well, I mean, it would make a little bit sense. He's young. He would be more
True, and
susceptible
he's
to a
very
lot of those
sheltered.
things. Yeah. So, I mean, thematically, it makes sense. Okay, so you guys
So
turn
watchful.
around, and Justine would also hear this, although not see it because she has walked off. You turn around and see a figure in front of you that's humanoid, but not. There's much more hair. The skin is like drawn back on the face, and there's like the skin is tight. It's kind of pale. You see the nails have basically become claws. They as they go down into the fingers, they become claws. But and Tommy is mostly surprised by this and lets out a shriek and takes 2 points of sanity damage.
Shit. Am I at 28 then?
Yep. And as this happens, the figure that sees you also kind of jumps back, not realizing that you were there at first, and looks at you, and then as you take a closer look, you see that he has glasses, and that he has white hair and pointed ears.
Pointed ears.
Yeah.
What's his name look like? The uncle, Thomas's uncle.
He was balding with white hair and round glasses.
Is that what we're looking at? But with pointed ears and like a darker figure.
He says hello.
Hey, what? Ivy. Ivy. I'm gonna hide behind her.
Okay.
Who are you?
As he stepped out, he was kind of startled by you guys, but he had already started to kind of walk off. He noticed that you were there, obviously, because Tommy shrieked, but he was already like paying you no mind and was you noticed that he has a book in his hand and had started to wander off towards Douglas Kimball's favorite tombstone, which is the direction you guys are in, but he was just trying to kind of get around you guys. So he notices you there, and what were you wanting to do? Or were you talking to him?
I said, who are you?
Oh, I'm Douglas. What are you folks doing out here in the cemetery this late at night?
You're not Douglas.
Looking for you?
Yeah.
I am. I don't look the same, but I am Douglas Kimball.
So you are aware of your appearance.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna sit here and tell us in a completely calm manner, like we would understand what's going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand exactly how it happened. I just know that being around my friends this much has changed the way I look, but it doesn't bother me.
Who are
I
your
just-
friends?
Oh, my friends that live below.
Oh shit.
They're leaving now, but Yeah.
Would this one hurts me a little bit. Okay, here's. Did you break into your house or like go into your house to grab some books or something?
Yeah. Like I said, my friends, my friends are leaving, and I didn't want to be without my books, so I got it. I tried to get in there one last time to grab as many books as I could for my trip, because I
Wait.
won't be able to get out again.
Get out of like below?
Yeah. Because I kind of made a deal with them, because they promised that I could just read my books and nobody would bother me, and I wouldn't have to worry about all these other things I had to worry about before. You know, getting dressed up for dinner and going out and doing other stuff. I can just stay and read.
Who are them? Who are your friends?
They call. I don't know exactly what they are. I just know they don't really mean any harm. They're not really doing anything to anybody here, and they're just moving on from this place. So he points to where he had just came from. The hole's getting sealed up, and that's why I came out to get some more books before they seal it back up, and I can't get back out again.
So, how long ago did? What? This one hurts a little bit. Where's Justine?
I assume I'm almost to the house by now.
Did you not come back when we shrieked?
Nah.
God damn it!
I assumed that it was you complaining about digging.
A splinter.
Yeah.
That's a fair assessment of my character.
Is Thomas is his nephew, right? Okay,
Yes.
I just want to make sure I wasn't wrong. Okay. Well, your nephew hired us to figure out who took the books and what books were taken. So I don't. A little confused, but what should we tell him?
Actually, now that you mention it, you shouldn't tell him anything. I would prefer not. I want him to remember me, know me as I was. It's good to hear that he's keeping after things, though. He's worried about, someone breaking in, getting my things. I don't want him to know about this. And he's kind of like pointing to himself, gesturing. But don't worry. I mean, this is all good. I never felt like I really belonged up above here, and my friends here, the other ghouls, and I've been much happier. I don't have to worry about anything.
Is that what they are? They're ghouls?
I mean, I guess I don't. I'm starting to understand more about them as this weird transformation has taken on, but it's so interesting to me. My whole life I've wanted to get away and live in these fantasy worlds, and now I can. I'm gonna write my own book about these things that I'm finding.
Who are you gonna sell that to? Because you're gonna be below. That doesn't make any sense. No one can read. Where does science play into this? Where is the scientific? Like,
Science.
Something has to be.
I'm not writing the story so that I can become rich and famous. I'm writing the story. I'm living in a story.
But how do you look like that? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I am currently spreading mustard onto bread.
Does he look like anything?
Roll
I've
for
ever
dexterity
read
so you don't cut yourself.
I gotcha.
I don't like mustard. Don't put mustard on my sandwich.
I don't care what you like.
Make it all mustard.
Mustard sandwich.
Tommy likes mustard.
Getting ready for the depression.
I'm gonna be so
Does,
mad when you come back with that.
Does Douglas look like anything
Yeah,
I've ever
I didn't cut
read
myself.
about? Maybe could I make like an occult?
I mean, you guys, the closest description you could think of is just almost like the Walking Dead. He's not He's not like, it's not like rotting flesh or anything there, but it's just he has pointed ears. His skin is just pulled tighter, like the beginnings of decomposition or something. And like I said, his nails have become more like claws, and they're just much sharper and almost wild feature or beast-like features. And they have like hooves for feet, which is where the other stuff came in, the newspaper articles and all those other things. They were seeing like weird beast prints, so you can gather that that's what they were talking about, was that he was either Douglas or the other ghouls.
Okay, I was picturing like a werewolf or something.
No, not quite.
Super wrong, because you said he was hairier, so I was like, oh
yeah. They're hairier. I'll pull up a better image for you really quick.
Okay.
Ham or turkey?
Oh man, well I definitely prefer turkey.
Ham it is.
I hate this sandwich so much.
So basically, what we were doing for Thomas was to figure out what books were taken, right? Not even necessarily to get them back.
Douglas was just wanting to know. That's kind of that's a decent image of kind of what you're looking at. But to be more specific, he is in transition. He's not like a full ghoul yet. Okay. He, for whatever reason, the more time he has spent with the other ghouls, his body has been transforming into one of them. So he still has his mind and sanity and these other things. Who knows if he will keep it? You yourself don't know anything about ghouls, but from the information he's given you, the longer he's been around them, the more he's taken on their appearance and stuff. But that's basically what they look like, although they are generally, I think, depicted with, they're more shaggy than that, but the rest of that looks pretty accurate. And he is also wearing clothes.
What? Man.
Well, what? Could you just tell us what books you took? Because I think that's all Thomas really wanted to know.
I think he was more just worried about the books themselves being taken.
Yeah,
which
like the theft.
I'm sure you guys can come up with something. You don't even have to tell him that you found me or that you know where the books have been going.
I don't have to tell him that we found his... What? You're like turning into this like thing and you don't want us to tell anyone?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you some of the other books that I have, since I've already read them so much anyway, and I'll just keep the newer ones because he's not going to know which ones were taken.
Why?
I am now walking back with like 6 sandwiches like stacked on like a plate, like precarious.
I
used to be a waitress, so I'm good at it.
Why? When did you meet these your friends from below?
Oh, I mean, just a little bit before I left with them, I had known about them, and they had approached me and wanted to grow their numbers, I guess, for whatever reason. I don't know. But they just told me that I could live the life that I wanted to live here, and I don't have to worry about money and all these other things. I can just live with them and live an adventure.
Well, what's it like below?
It's just, they're dark tunnels, but it doesn't bother me as much as you'd think it would, I guess. But,
there's no money down there?
No. Why would there be
that's
money?
Rocking his world.
How do you do anything without money?
There's nothing to buy or trade.
What?
It's just living.
Oh my gosh. You don't have like nice cars and like big houses?
In tunnels?
As he says this, he pulls a pocket watch out of his front pocket, and he checks the time, and he realizes, oh no, it's getting too late. I really need to go.
Ivy, what if we just block him off?
I don't think it's.
Well, he's already in between you and the mausoleum
I
that
am
he
back
came
with the
out of.
sandwiches. Who wants a mustard
You
and
are not back
sandwich?
with
Oh God, Justine. Number one, you missed such an important conversation with Douglas, and then you freaking
You
bring
found
in
Douglas?
yes, and you brought my least favorite
Sanity
sandwich.
roll.
So, well, as you're getting there, Justine, all you see is you hear that grating of the stone again, and as you go over there, all you see is like the twisted arm closing the mausoleum door behind him. So you missed out. You didn't see like his whole body, but you still need to make a sanity check because you don't know what the hell that just was. I think we lost Jacob.
Jacob, you're frozen.
He's so scared. Yeah.
Look how scared he is. Look at that scared in his eyes. Jacob. How do we get a hold of Jacob now? Technical difficulties going on.
Yep. Oh,
Frozen.
it moved.
It moved. It's Douglas. Jacob. Hello. This is a fun moment right here.
It's really good content. We're doing so good.
Alright.
Oh, he's restarting his computer.
Oh no.
He rolled
Oh.
a 10 though.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something real quick just so that people.
So, well, I mean, so if he succeeded that check, then I mean, he's not gonna take anything from that. He just
I'm gonna go ahead and put a ghoul up on Jacob's face,
okay.
just so people can see what it is we're looking at. Oh, that's that's unfortunate. Once again, some nice little technical difficulties due to everything in Jacob's fault here. But I'll go ahead and show a ghoul up. This is what a ghoul looks like. This is kind of what Michael was talking about. Douglas is turning into. Not unsimilar to what you would see in D&D, but definitely different kind of like mythology, and I guess you would also see these kind of creatures a little bit less. They're more of like a rare thing to see, I would guess, right?
I think that they're kind of uncommon because I mean they live underground, so you're not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, are the monsters in this world more rare to see than you would like in D&D? You walk around, you see gnomes and elves just walking around their daily lives.
Right.
But
Yeah. This is basically it's the real world, but you guys are seeing another layer of it. Think of like Supernatural, the TV show, where other people are still living their lives, but other people are like fighting this invisible war with these other things. That's basically what it is.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw us all back up on screen now. There we go.
Sorry
Jacob's
about that.
back.
So I rolled a 10.
Yep.
And I see that hand, and then I grab the top sandwich and I start eating it. I'm like, you guys want some?
I'll take a sandwich.
You made the worst sandwich, and we're not gonna talk about what just happened?
I'm from New Orleans, baby. I've seen a lot of stuff.
Oh my god.
This hurts my brain. This isn't scientifically possible. This is not what I learned in school.
What happened? I feel like I missed something.
I
don't know. Douglas is different now. He's a thing.
Like he's older, or like fatter, or like what?
Not really like here anymore.
he said he was a ghoul, something like that. I don't know. Like that's not real, right?
He's gonna live underground for now. Took his books to have something to do. So it was him.
How are we gonna explain that to Thomas?
First of all, we have to explain this to ourselves. What did we just see?
I think you're overthinking it, Tommy. You really...
Everything I've ever learned is a lie, and you're telling me I'm overthinking it?
I don't
Gotta
think
let
everything's a
little
lie. I just think there's some knowledge that you didn't know.
I guess that's one way of thinking about it. Well, okay. How about we say we found these books maybe by the river or by like some sort of like campfire, and there are ashes, and we say, okay, we found these books, a couple of the other ones were destroyed, you know, your uncle's a ghoul, but like it's fine, we're fine.
He said not to tell him.
I won't tell him that part, but like I'm still a little freaked out.
We could always blame it on some hobos who ride the rail.
I feel like if I had to tell you how I felt out of like maybe 30, I feel like around 28 right now. So
Still pretty good.
I mean, I'm doing okay, but like I can't lose any more of that because it's gonna freak me out a little bit too much.
I would love a crazy like 12-year-old. I think that'd be hilarious because he's seen too much.
I've
So-
seen.
Ivy and Tommy roll a d6.
Hold on, I have to get a D6 out.
3.
6.
And you gain that much sanity.
Do I go over?
Yeah, you have a new maximum.
Yeah. So the you regain some sanity because you've gained basically peace of mind that you know it freaked you out to see and know that this thing existed, but it also kind of eased you that they are leaving. Like it's not going to be something that you have to deal with, and they're not going to hurt you or do anything to you.
So I can't go up to 34. Do I have a max of 30? It doesn't, like when I looked it up, it says I don't have a max of 30. It says that that's what I have, and you can gain
That's what
sanity.
you start with. Yeah.
Everyone's max is 99.
Okay, so I'm going up to 34.
Yeah.
Oh god, thank God. What a life.
Yeah, because that's another way you can die is through sanity.
Yeah, I don't really
Or
wanna
just,
go.
you know, becoming a hindrance, because sometimes when things like those happen and you fail, you can go temporarily insane or have some sort of meltdown.
Manic
basically.
episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
You could think you're on fire and just start running and screaming, or you know, fun stuff.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Well, I guess we should tell Thomas about what do we want to go with?
A couple of books, or is he going to do that still?
Yeah, he left this pile. How many books did he leave?
2.
Who?
Douglas.
Douglas. He said he would leave us the books that he had already read.
And then he bounced.
Oh, damn.
he,
Oh,
checked
he didn't
his,
read it.
he checked his pocket watch, and nobody tried to stop him there as he was leaving. So
So I'm
he was in a hurry.
New to this.
No. What do we tell them now? Listen, man, alright, there's some shit in this world that you wouldn't understand, and one of those things is where those books went, and that's what we figured out today. Thank you, good night. That's what we're gonna tell Thomas.
I
I'm gonna
think we can be a little bit more tactful than.
I'm gonna grab one of those sandwiches and try to eat it.
I make a mean sandwich.
I'm gonna let it fall out of my mouth because I'm disgusted.
Well, I mean, we could always tell him like a half truth. I mean, I could see a figure, which I'm assuming now was Douglas, walking towards the house. So we could say was likely this figure. He looked like a hobo. He's probably moved on.
Yeah. I guess we can just say, well, whatever it is that took the books won't be back. We know that for sure. We weren't able to retrieve the books, but we didn't really figure anything out that we can tell Thomas. But, that's fine. Life goes on. They don't have money down there or anything, so it's not like they're doing too great, so.
Lots of death.
Alright. Do we want to go talk to Thomas then?
Sure, let's go back to the house.
Alright, Ivy, I'm going to let you explain this to him, because
There are still 3 sandwiches.
Here's another sandwich with a bite taken out of it.
What specifically are you going to tell him? We can wrap this up a little bit easier. I mean...
So, I'm going to tell him what I just said. I saw a figure walking towards the house from the cemetery the other night, and looked a little hobo-y maybe, but then, I don't know. It's possible he could have stolen the book.
We just don't. We know that he won't come back for sure. That's the one thing we know. We know that whatever it is that took the books will not be back, but we could not recover the books, unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control.
And since he saw me the other night, see him, he saw that there were people at the house, turned away, took off.
Okay.
Don't see him coming back.
Okay.
That work?
Make a fast talk check, because you're kind of
Lying.
bending the truth a little bit here. Remember, you can spend luck.
It would take so much of my luck. I mean, am I ever going to use this character again?
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean,
Probably not.
Probably
I would
not,
say
no.
that
You
Yeah,
regen luck.
Yeah, so
you can
I'll use my luck. I'll
Okay.
use...
If I play this, or when we play this game, because we will, I won't be using Tommy.
okay.
Good.
I
Yeah,
realize how useless it is to just have library use and violin.
Well, and it's good to have at least a little bit of spread out abilities between the party. I mean, having just 4
Bunch of
clerics
book
in a group
nerds.
or something, it's not that great of an idea.
So,
So he, with your luck thrown in there, he believes that and is given the peace of mind that it's not going to continue happening, and is able to give you guys your $10 for carrying out the job, which again is $200.
That's
Have
all
to
we
split it
get.
between the 3 of you.
Did we know going into this that this is all we were gonna get?
Yeah, he told you up front.
got a hot $10.
You guys can split it between yourselves.
You doesn't want the money.
I gave $10 to the gardener alone. I don't need that money.
He gave him $2.
Okay, well then I'm taking 15.
So that's the end of the paper chase. That you guys did not chase like any papers.
That's true. We didn't. We played a very different game here.
Well, I mean, you tried. You just were not very
Failed a
successful
lot.
in a lot of them. Yeah,
It's fine. Call of
I don't know
Cthulhu.
how to do
but I mean, yeah, that's just how it goes. I mean, you can still. There's plenty of other stuff in there that was missed out on. Lots of little details.
It's a fun. I enjoy this thought process of the game. How do you? Okay, so if I have a little check mark next to spot hidden because I completed it, how do I now at the end of the session add to that?
I'll have to look over it again.
You
to
have
see.
to roll, and if you succeed the roll, you get a +5. I think
You-
it goes up. Like that.
You have to fail the roll.
Oh yeah.
You have to. So the roll that you succeeded in, if you want to increase that stat, you have to make another roll for it, and you have to fail it, meaning that there is area to improve on. Because if you, let's say you have a 90 intelligence, it's very difficult to get any
Okay.
smarter than that.
Yeah, that
So
makes
you have to
sense.
fail the roll to get smart.
That makes sense.
And then I think you roll another die to see how much you gain of that stat,
Okay,
like
cool.
a d6 or something. But I'll figure it out
Awesome.
so that we can know it for the future. But that's Paper Chase in a
Cool.
nutshell.
Well, this was fun. Thank you, Michael, for giving us a little intro on Call of Cthulhu.
Hell yeah!
To our viewers, if you guys want us to start streaming more, or like video games we can start streaming, stuff like that, just let us know.
All right. Well, hopefully we could do some more Call of Cthulhu soon, because I think it's a good change of pace from D&D every now and then. Give Jacob a little mental break from our shenanigans. But I hope you guys will join us again.
Yeah,
Have a good
ready for
one.
tomorrow.